What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Kansas City Chiefs today, and we've got a big one for you. Former All-Pro right tackle Mitchell Schwartz just weighed in on the Chiefs' offense, and his perspective is exactly the kind of inside-the-trenches insight we need right now. If you care about protection, timing, and getting this attack back to its ruthless best, stay locked in. Here's the deal. Schwartz isn't just any ex-player shouting from the sidelines. He lived it on the offensive line that helped raise banners in Kansas City. When he speaks about footwork, leverage, and communication, he's talking about the small details that turn 2nd and 9 into 2nd and 3. Today we're breaking down what his take means for Patrick Mahomes, for the run game, and for the path back to a top 5 unit. We're going to talk technique, we're going to talk scheme, and we're going to talk attitude. You'll walk away with a clear picture of what's fixable, what needs time, and what has to change by Sunday. And yes, we'll tie it to the AFC playoff race and those rivalry stakes every Chiefs fan feels in their bones. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we are on the road to 5,000 subs, and your voice matters in this community. And if you've been here from day one, you already know the drill. Buckle in, hit the comments, and let's build this game plan together. Let's set the stage. The Chiefs' offense has been good by league standards and streaky by Kansas City standards. Drives have flashed the old fireworks, then stalled with penalties, pressures, or timing issues on money downs. That's the context in which a former All-Pro lineman steps up and says, "Here's what I'm seeing." Schwartz's viewpoint zooms in on the most boring thing that decides everything: fundamentals. For offensive linemen, that means stance consistency, first step angles, and hand placement that wins the rep before the defender even gets going. For tight ends and backs, it's blitz ID and chip technique that doesn't knock your own tackle off his set. These are the unsexy details that unlock the sexy stuff. He also spotlights communication. You hear coaches say, "We need to be on the same page," but in the trenches that literally means 5 guys and a back seeing the same picture. Slide left, fan right, pass off the twist, squeeze the looper, climb to the backer. If one helmet sees a different picture, a free runner shows up and your quarterback turns into a magician instead of a surgeon. Timing has crept into the conversation too. The Chiefs' offense is built on trust throws and landmark routes, not backyard ball on every snap. When the footwork of the line syncs with the rhythm of the QB and the depth of the route, it looks effortless. When one of those is off half a beat, the spacing tightens and the windows feel smaller. There's also the run-pass marriage. Kansas City at its best uses motion, formation variation, and RPO threats to put linebackers in conflict. Schwartz's point is that the line's job is easier when the defense has to play honest. If the opponent stops respecting the run or the quick game, the pass sets get long and the rush tee-offs multiply. Let's talk about what this means for Patrick Mahomes. When protections are clear and edges are set, Mahomes doesn't need heroic scramble drills to save plays. He can live in rhythm, hit the first or second read, and then punish with the off-schedule stuff as a bonus. Rhythm Mahomes is the most efficient and most terrifying version of this offense. Now the receivers. Clean pockets extend the timing window, and that's huge for option routes and choice concepts. If the slot has that extra half second to read leverage, he can attack the right shoulder instead of just getting to a spot. Schwartz's critique of technique indirectly helps the wideouts because the ball arrives on time, in stride, and with fewer contested catch situations. Tight ends live in both worlds. They're part of protection, part of the route tree, and sometimes the run game hinge. If their chips are clean and they don't disrupt the tackle set, they can release faster and become real third down answers. That's a subtle detail with massive third and medium consequences. The run game is where an ex-All-Pro lineman's eye really pops. It's not only about mauling people, it's about angles and double teams with intent. If the guard and tackle can displace the 3-tech 2 feet and climb, suddenly your back is hitting daylight instead of bodies. Those are the difference-making 4-yard runs that set up play-action strikes. Penalties are another ripple effect. False starts and holds often come from uncertainty or bad body position. If your stance is neutral and your hands are inside, you don't need to grab. If your cadence plan is crisp, you don't flinch. Schwartz's message basically says, sharpen the process and watch the flags disappear. Third down is the scoreboard for offensive line play. You can be 50% on early downs and still feel fine if third down turns into a friendly place. Protection pickups, interior depth on the pocket, and recognition of simulated pressures all travel with you on the road. When those are right, the stick route on 3rd and 4 looks like stealing. So what does a week of practice plan look like based on this analysis? Start with cadence and communication. Build a menu: normal, quick, hard count, freeze. Rep the calls so every lineman speaks the same language and every back knows the hot answers. Defenses thrive on your hesitation. Take that away on Wednesday and you won't feel it on Sunday. Next, protection rules. Clarify how you want to pass off stunts and who owns the widest rusher when motion changes the picture. Label the mic with urgency and live with the call. If you're wrong fast and together, your quarterback still has a pocket. If you're right late and divided, everyone looks bad. In the run game, lean on doubles with purpose. Identify your best double teams and call them early. Pair those doubles with motion that forces linebackers to bump and hit the crease before they can scrape across. Efficient runs aren't about heroics. They're about repeatable angles that travel to any stadium. Marry quick game with shots. Schwartz's line-first lens pairs nicely with play action that looks like your favorite run. If you hit slants, sticks, and choice routes, safeties will hesitate. That's when your crosser or post can split the defense and remind everyone why this offense is feared. Get the tight ends and backs into the pass game with intent. Give them early touches that aren't horizontal only. Option them at 8 yards, angle them on linebackers who overrun flow, and demand clean releases off chips. That multiplicity punishes blitz-happy teams without asking Mahomes to play superhero every snap. Finally, script a red zone identity. Decide this week what you are inside the 10, heavy and downhill, or light with motion and misdirection. Practice the daylights out of 3 calls you love, then call them with conviction. The more certain you are, the slower the defense looks when the field compresses. Let's be real, Chiefs fans know ball. You can hear it in the stadium and you can read it in the comments. When a former All-Pro like Schwartz nods toward technique and communication, it matches what fans feel when they see a drive stall after one negative play. The Kingdom's eye test is not wrong. The media conversation tends to drift toward shiny topics like receiver chemistry or play-calling creativity. Those matter, but they sit on a foundation of trench play that decides how creative you get to be. When pass pro is calm, everyone looks like a genius. When it's leaky, the coverage gets all the credit and the pass catchers get all the blame. Schwartz adds credibility because he explains complexity in plain language. If he says the set points look a half step off or the hands are late against wide nines, that translates to your QB is uncomfortable on 3rd down. It's not a hot take, it's a diagnosis. And a diagnosis points to treatment, not just outrage. Fans also respond to accountability. Hearing a respected voice call for sharper details tells the locker room, the coaching staff, and the fan base the same thing. This is fixable. That's the vibe today. Not panic, not denial, just work. Zooming out, the AFC is unforgiving. You've got physical fronts that want to hit the quarterback and safeties who take the ball away if your timing is late. To win January football, you don't need 50-point explosions. You need clean pockets, efficient runs, and red zone ruthlessness. Think about the matchups that always loom: edge duos who live off wide alignments, interior wreckers who feast on soft hands, and coordinators who throw simulated pressure parties on 3rd and 7. The Chiefs have beaten those blueprints before by being detailed, not just dazzling. Schwartz's emphasis is exactly the formula that travels in cold weather and hostile crowds. If Kansas City sharpens the edges of protection and the spine of the run game, the rivalry games tilt back our way. The offense doesn't have to chase fireworks, it just needs to force opponents to play honest for 4 quarters. That's when Mahomes becomes the closer everyone else dreads. So where do we land? Mitchell Schwartz put a spotlight on the places champions win: stance, hands, footwork, calls, and finish. Those aren't headlines, but they're habits. You stack those habits and suddenly the film starts to look like February again. Your checklist for Sunday is simple: clean cadence, crisp calls, smarter chips, and doubles that dent the front. Marry quick answers with 2 or 3 shot plays that come off the same run action. Then be who you practiced being in the red zone. I want to hear from you. Which adjustment hits your ear the loudest this week? Protection rules, receiver option timing, or the run game doubles? Chiefs Kingdom always brings smart football talk, and this channel is built on that conversation. Let's keep it rolling. If you made it this far, you're part of the heartbeat of this community. We post every day, win or learn, because the standard in Kansas City never changes. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with a friend who lives for Arrowhead Sundays. Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today.